Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. Let's run some Mythic Plus dungeons in World of Warcraft. Today we are going to be running the Nokhud Offensive level 11 as an Arcane Mage. This week's affixes are Tyrannical, Raging, Storming, and Thundering. I will be doing my best to give a live commentary of what I'm doing in the dungeon. If you enjoy that type of content, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to follow the tank to wherever they land. We're going to take the first group like this. We do have to watch out for the patrols around here. This is something that could easily catch you off guard if you're not paying attention. You might accidentally pull, for example, the pack that's all the way over there, because they do come around and path this way every so often. But as long as you do that, you should be good. These trash mobs aren't really too bad to deal with. On top of that, it is a Tyrannical week, so the trash isn't going to hit really that hard at all. Anyway, we're about to finish the first pack right here. Hopefully I don't get hit by that swirly on the ground. There we go. And then we're going to start working our way toward the other packs like this. Going to hit Shifting Power right here. Actually, also going to step out of the way. The Shifter Power actually gives me back my cooldowns. It's basically a cooldown reducer. I'm just watching the tank's health right now, make sure they don't die on me. If they did, I'd have to bring out some safety measures like my mirror image or, you know, my ice block, whatever that's called. But it looks like he's gotten healed back up, so I think we'll be fine. Right. So you might be wondering what I'm doing with how I cast my spells. Well, I'll tell you. Basically, there are two main things to worry about when you're playing Arcane Mage, or they're kind of two main things that you do when playing Arcane Mage, and you can break them up into phases. The first is the conserve phase, where basically the idea is that you conserve as much mana as you can. So you have a good amount of mana when you go into the burn phase. The burn phase is basically what I'm doing right now. You drop a Rune of Power, you hit Radiant Spark, and then you count to 4 by casting either 4 Arcane Blasts or 4 Arcane Explosions. And that will kind of buff the damage on the Radiant Spark. Now you might have noticed that my you know, a couple people died during that pull, so that was, you know, kind of a bit rough. It also didn't help that I was kind of, you know, trying to explain what was going on. I guess I should just release and kind of fly back over. But yeah, the idea with the burn phase is that you're kind of buffing Radiant Spark with whatever thing you're casting, whether it's Arcane Blast or Arcane Explosion. And then after you do your 4 Arcane Blast or Arcane Explosion, you throw in a Barrage, and while the Barrage is traveling, you apply Touch of the Magi, so that Barrage also gets amplified by the Touch of the Magi cast. Anyway, I think it's a fine recovery. It looks like they kept the pull alive, so we're not going to lose too much time, you know, with having to like respawn and run back over. And then after this, we're probably going to be moving on to one of the final 2 packs. So there are 3 packs around here that sit around these ballistas, and you have to kill all 3 of them to activate the ballistas, and that's what brings the boss down. You can see the boss. Actually, maybe the boss. Oh, there it is. So the boss is over there flying around right there. Alright. For this Lance Master, I'm going to have to worry about Disruptive Shout. Let's go ahead and... Okay, someone already... interrupted that, so it might have not been a great idea to kind of interrupt there, because it's basically a waste of you know, an interrupt by doubling up like that. I don't think it's gonna matter too much though. This dude's dying fairly quickly. Also, if I really need it, I can do like a quick Shifting Power cast to get the interrupt back in time, so I can actually use it to interrupt the next Disruptive Shout. Also, if I do cough, you'll have to excuse me. I have had a bit of a cough in the past couple of days, but it has gotten a little bit better. Anyway, we're on to the 3rd and final ballista. And, oh, yeah, I know the feeling of taking the wrong talent. Don't worry, Druid. It's only a level 11. Like, if you're worried about, like, oh, you know, I don't have the right talent, or, like, I don't have good enough gear, it's not really that big of a deal. At these low kind of levels, at these low key levels. Really, the only main thing to worry about is just do the mechanics right and don't die to this stuff, and you should be fine. Right? So go ahead and throw an extra barrage in. And I guess we'll start, well, you know what? We'll throw another barrage in, and then I'll try to farm clear casting procs. Okay, I'm not getting none, so, you know what, let's just use Arcane Missiles. You might notice that every time you use Arcane Missiles, it generates a stack of Arcane Harmony. Arcane Harmony is another one of those things that kind of buffs the damage. Alright, so we're going to the boss fight. I do not know about using Hero on this particular boss. I would have saved it for maybe the next one, but you know what, it's fine. We'll go ahead and kill this guy. We're going to have someone go over to that ballista over there and kind of activate it. Okay, it looks like someone is taking care of that. Or maybe not. Okay, yeah, they've run over to taking care of it. Basically, you shoot the ballista and interrupt the boss when he's casting Eruption so it doesn't wipe your group. And I mean, that's pretty much the whole fight. Let's go ahead and CC this guy, take him down. Alright, and I'll start moving over there. Maybe I should, you know, take care of the ballista this time, because I am a ranged caster. And so I don't have to trade off anything by being, you know, this far away from the boss and casting my stuff. I will activate it the moment he starts casting Eruption. Right about now. This should be good. Okay. And then we go back to the boss like this. You know what? I'll go ahead and do a burn on the boss. So we're going to get Radiant Spark. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, I think the other people in my group will kind of take care of this ad. Or maybe not. I guess I'm going to have to run over here. This might be a issue. Nope, we got him. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, go ahead and dispel that. Gonna wait until he does Eruption to hit this, and then I will go ahead and hit Evocation to get some of my mana back, and then let's just focus the boss until he's dead. Gonna get hit Shifting Power to get my cooldowns back, and then I'm not even gonna worry about the ad. We'll just focus the boss down. All right, one last barrage. Give a slash cheer because we just took down the boss. You know, slash cheer really helps the team morale. Let's head on to the second boss fight. One of the nice things I think about this dungeon is that you know, there is like a little bit of time to just relax. You know, in the dragonflight parts, where you kind of have to fly over to the next, you know, section.
The storm must be quieted, and
you know, if you're like, let's say you just had like a rough, you know, boss fight on the last boss, but you just got through it. It gives you basically some time to, you know, kind of reset and get your bearings before you go into the next section. And this section isn't really like too hard, like the trash isn't that bad. It's gonna be the boss fight that really is gonna be like the make or break of this section. Go ahead and dodge that. So I've got the tornado in my head to go find someone with the charged ball. Okay, someone dispelled it for me, that's fine. So in this section we're going to be going around kind of breaking totems, and we're going to have to break the totems to activate the boss. I think it's going to take me long enough that I will have my time warp back up, and I'm actually running the talent called, I think it's called Temporal Warp. Basically it allows you to use time warp even when you have this debuff on you, and so it's kind of like you get access to personal time warp when everyone else is kind of like, you know, not able to use it, right? So I'm going to be banking on that to kind of help us through this this next boss fight a little bit. All right. Maybe focus more on AoE damage in this case. You might notice that even though, you know, it's an AoE kind of fight right here, because we've got like several different ads in the mob, I am doing like a single target rotation. And that's because some of these targets are kind of like priority targets, or I feel like they're priority targets, so I want to focus on burning them down first before I switch to like my AoE my AoE kind of rotation. Also, another thing that I like to do is that when we're at, when we're about to finish, a group of ads, when we're on like the last 2 ads in the group, I like to spam Arcane missiles so I can charge these Harmony stacks. So I have 20 Arcane Harmony stacks ready for my next burn, which I'm doing right now. And when we throw it in, you'll see that it does quite a bit of damage because these Arcane Harmony stacks boost the damage by a certain amount of percent, depending on how much stacks you have or how many stacks you have. All right. So I guess we'll go ahead and farm the Clear Casting proc, and then we're just gonna farm Arcane Harmony for the next pull. Maybe even hit Shifting Power, make sure no one's around, so I don't accidentally pull, because Shifting Power actually does do damage. Even though kind of like the main thing I use it for is for the cooldown reduction, it does do damage, so sometimes I like to get into extra damage. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do like a full burn on this. And that's because the Arcane Surge in the full burn, which I'm replacing the 4th Arcane Blast with, it actually regenerates some of my mana. I probably should have interrupted that Thunder Strike, because that actually did like a lot of damage. But you know what, I think it'll be fine. Just need to stand next to someone with a tornado and then dispel it when it's about to go off. Alright, like that. Alright. Now we're going to the final totem, it looks like. Same kind of thing. Just focus the Stormcaller. Interrupt the Stormbolt when it comes out. Okay, that is not Stormbolt. I think the next one is the Stormbolt. There we go. And then we're going to go into a mini burn. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to throw the barrage in, like that. Okay, this should be good. Give myself just a little bit of healing to kind of live through that.
The final totem crumbles. Now take down the avatar of the storm.
Let's try to farm some stacks. And then you know what? I think... Oh, we've got a man down. Alright, could go ahead and hit Evocation to get my mana back. And hopefully we're gonna get a res here so he doesn't have to fly back. I'm pretty sure the only graveyard in this dungeon is, well, the graveyard at the entrance of the dungeon, and that's because dragon riding is allowed in this dungeon, and so you can just fly wherever you want in the area. Alright. For this one, yeah, you want to eat the balls, basically. That's the main goal of this fight. We're going to start off with a burn. Full burn. Throw this in. Lightning Strike. You're going to want to spread out a little bit for this. It's going to make those things activate. I'm going to move right here, and this should be good. Alright, kind of move back in toward the middle. Eat some balls. Let's do one of these. Okay, Electrical Storm is coming out. Still got to eat the balls. Still make sure you're eating the balls. Okay, he's got that ball. I was about to run over actually, but he's got it. Alright. Go ahead and hit Evocation right here. There are a ton of balls coming out. Who is, you know what, I'm gonna stand, yeah, okay, he's got the Dispel on it, so that's cool. Gonna eat this, if you hit Lightning Strike on the balls, it will actually deactivate the balls for you, which is a good thing, so since, if you try to, oh, there's a ball that's making it to him. If you try to eat too many balls, it's gonna... You'll notice there's like a debuff that the balls are putting on me. And if you eat too many balls, like, it stacks, and then you're gonna have a hard time kind of like healing through it. Which is... It looks like that's what I'm gonna do. Although I think I could remove the stack if I use Ice Block, which I'm about to do right now, and that should be good. Yeah, that takes care of it. And you know what? It looks like he is low enough health that we can kind of like burn through the rest of his health before he does another electrical storm, so it shouldn't be too bad of a fight from here on out. So, you know what, we're just going to focus on DPS now. We've got 20 stacks of Arcane Harmony. We're going into a mini burn. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and eat some balls while I'm doing these burn, and we got it. So give yourself a slash cheer and move on to the next boss.
Today we use Onara's gifts to free her. We will journey to Nokhud Hold. Fly, outsider! Balakar's power grows.
That is the tank up there, so we're going to go ahead and follow him to wherever he's going.
Clan Ukel has allied with Clan Nokhud. Today,
alright, we're
will
going right into it, even though, you know, not everyone is here yet, but you know what, we can handle it. Now, the birds in this pack, they do a frontal that you have to dodge. But there's not really much to worry about in this pack, except for maybe the Death Bolt volley coming out of this in the frontal. So, yes, we're going to interrupt that. We can go ahead and throw this in, and then we're going to keep, we're going to go kind of change to an AoE, because I think we can focus on an AoE rotation right now.
The first ancestors shall rise!
Eagles will
just to kill them all, you know, quickly and at the same time, so we don't waste too much time on a single packet. Shatter Soul is going to come out from the Soul Harvester in a couple seconds.
By lightning.
Pick up my soul, and then what I'm going to do, that's my soul. Alright, go ahead and do a burn. 1, 2. Then we'll kind of switch to an AoE burn a little bit. And, oh, that is a swirly on the ground. I want to not stand in that. Gonna interrupt that. And yeah, the trash here isn't too difficult. It's just that there's a lot of it, because the trick is with this dungeon is that you get most of the percentage of trash from here. You get up to about like 95 to 97% of trash cleared, and then you go to the kind of final section of this boss fight, because there's like a shortcut that lets you avoid basically all of the you know, trash over in near the final boss area. And actually the druid just pointed it out, it's 94% trash clear in this location. Alright.
Marked by lightning.
You know what, I'm going to kind of do a prolonged conserve phase here. I think trying to use a bird when the rest of the mobs are this low is kind of wasteful. I want to save it so I can use them on this mob. And you know what? I think we can do a full burn here. So I'm going to use Arcane Surge as the 4th cast on the Radiant Spark. And then we're going to throw that in. And then I guess we can switch to an AoE rotation right here. Alright.
I cannot face my ancestor.
Yeah, I didn't want to kind of move over here too quickly. There was a patrol on my right, so that's why I kind of hesitated a little bit there. But you know what, we're back on track. This is going to be, you know what, let's do an AoE burn just to show you what it's like.
By lightning.
Put that on, and then I throw that in. Need to find someone with an orb above their head. He's going to be over there. And, oh, I guess I already dispelled it. Alright. Currently at 77. I think we're gonna clear a few more packs before we do the boss fight by the looks of it. You know what? Let's get some cooldowns. Let's reduce the cooldowns on some of our things. Okay. Go ahead and do a mini burn here. Alright, let's go ahead and farm some Arcane Harmony stacks. Maybe should have saved Shifting Power for after the burn, so that way I could have it more quickly. Right. You know what? Let's do an AOE rotation.
The elements answer to me!
You know what? Let's farm some Harmony stacks. I think that would be good. All right. Hit it evocation so I can get some of my mana back. And then here we're gonna be focusing the Soul Harvester. Of course. Oh, I doubled up the interrupt. That's not really good. I think we'll be fine. I'm gonna wait till Shattered Soul comes out. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my soul, and then we'll go ahead and go into the burn. And I think we're going to do, you know what, let's do a mini burn. I'm not sure where the tank is going to be going after this. You might be getting more trash. You might head toward the boss. We'll do the boss first. I just want to make sure that I have my full burn up for the boss, so that I can start the boss fight kind of with the full burn. Not like necessarily the very beginning of the boss fight, but I want that available as soon as possible for me. Alright, so let's go ahead and farm my Arcane Harmony stacks. Okay, so it does look like we're going to be pulling another pack. I think this will maybe be the last pack before the third boss fight. So I definitely do not want to be using the kind of the full burn here. You know what, we'll do an AoE. We'll do an AoE burn here. 2, 3, 4. Throw it in. And oh, it looks like, yeah, we were going to accidentally pull some people. Is this too many? This is probably gonna be a little inefficient. It looks like we're gonna overpull some packs, or maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think this is kind of a little bit too much percent, though. You could be more efficient with this. Okay, we've got 7 stacks of Arcane Harmony. You're gonna have to charge up some. Gonna have to charge up like 13 stacks before I get to use my burn. But you know what? We have all our ingredients available. All stacked to tank. Sure, why not? Yeah, I think that's a good Lust. I don't know about Lust. I'm gonna hold off on Lust. If he wants to use Lust, he can, but I'd rather have it for the last boss. Because I had a dungeon in here earlier this week where we had like 6 tries on the last boss. Okay, so he's actually going to use Lust here. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and double up on that with the with my ability.
The elements answer to me!
Dodge that really quick, and then we're gonna actually do Arcane Blast into a Spell Cube barrage, so that way there's a little bit more damage coming out of there when we do that. Alright. Gonna go ahead and get some of my cooldowns back. Also gonna move over here. Alright, we're gonna go into a mini burn. 1, 2.
Away from him!
Oh, that might be too far away, yeah. Alright. Just gotta throw it in, gotta save my burn somehow. You know what? At least we got the barrage in. I think that's all that's really important. We do have a man down there. That's kind of unfortunate. Do we have a B-res? I think we should have a B-res. Yeah, we do have a B-res. Alright.
Wind guides my arrows.
The elements answer to me!
Oh, that is a tornado. Alright. Go ahead and move over here, dispel on this guy, okay, and then we have enough, we have our ingredients for a main burn, so we'll go ahead and, oh, that's not good.
It's too far away. Away from him!
No, I'll just do a mini burn here. Oh, okay, never mind. I think that was not the greatest burn, but you know what, we will live with it. Alright.
Flee before me!
I will say I do have shifting power, so I can use that to get some of my cooldowns back online, and then we can do a main burn after this Gale Force that comes out. Gale Arrow, sorry. Gale Force is an item in League of Legends. Oh, that is not great, but you know what? I think we'll live. Alright. Main burn time. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully this tornado doesn't hit me. Throw that in, and then yeah, that was close, but you know what? It worked.
Away from him!
Alright, we got it.
At last.
We have 13 minutes left. We've got pretty much all our trash mobs cleared. I think this should be okay. So we're gonna follow the tank. He's gonna take us to the
Balakar
I don't know if I call it a
is
secret
beyond
passage,
mercy.
but it's definitely
Clan Teera will join
it's an
Arcane
alternate
at
route.
Nokhud Offensive.
Let's call it that. You know, as much as I thought this dungeon was going to like not be that great, this is probably I would say one of I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite dungeon for this season, but it's there are definitely worse dungeons in this season that I didn't expect to be worse, but you know what, here we are at the last boss of the Nokhud Offensive. Well, actually not quite there. We have to clear these two trash mobs in the way. One thing you do have to worry about is the boss is right there on our left, and these guys might go charging into him and accidentally pull him, which is another thing that, you know, is something that has happened to me, and it was not great. Also, we do need to... Oh, that's maybe a bit of an issue. I think I did double up on the interrupt on the blood-curdling... It's like blood-curdling something, right? Oh, I don't know. I just stood there and took that, but okay. Yeah, that blood-curdling scream is... it's going to be a bit of an issue, because that does fear you for like 5 seconds, I think. Okay. Oh. Please do not run into the boss, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna hit evocation. Get at least a little bit of our mana back, and then we can go into... You know what? I am going to prolong my conserve phase so that I have some cooldowns ready to go for the boss, which we're going to pull in like, I don't know, 10 seconds maybe. I will charge my Arcane Harmony stack, so I have those ready. Alright. Let's go ahead and do a... You know what? We will do a main burn. I think a main burn is fine. I also forgot to hit hero, but you know what? Better late than never. Alright. Let's farm some of those Arcane Harmony stacks. We'll go ahead and throw that in. Alright, and then let's get some cooldowns back. Alright. Alright. By the way, if you do want, like, I know I'm not going into that much detail with the, you know, the whole rotation for Arcane Mage. If you really want information about that, there are, you know, I think there are enough guides on YouTube that you can find one and generally just get good advice from them. The reason I'm not really going into that much detail is that at this level, you don't need to have any idea of how to play your class at this level of Mythic Plus. All you need to do is really just, you know, do the mechanics properly and not die to stuff, right? And, you know, that should be good enough. Alright. Go over here. I'm going to interrupt the Storm Bolt. Want to AoE these guys down quickly. This is Storm Bolt. Storm Bolt actually hurts, like, quite a bit. And it could kind of take you out if you're not careful. You could just be sitting there doing your AoE damage, and then all of a sudden you have no health left and you're on the floor, and you know, the group is about to wipe, and you're just like, what happened? We did get through that pretty nicely, so from now on, it's just hope that your team doesn't die, like this druid over here. But you know what? Sometimes it happens, and you know, you just have to deal with it. Okay. He's going to be throwing a spear at me. I'll go ahead and do a dodge. You do have to dodge because he almost immediately charges. Alright, I am running out of mana, so I'll just try to hang on for a second. I do have evocation up in 10 seconds. Do need to dispel that. That should be good. 2 seconds, I'll get my mana back. There we go. And you know what? I will prolong the conserve phase until he does the charge again, and then I'll do, you know, a burn phase with that. And you know, this time I will use Arcane Surge so that I can get my okay, dodge. And the Arcane Surge will help me get my mana back. Also, I'm going to use this, what's it called? Presence of Mind, so I can move around while casting. Oh, okay. That might have been not a great move on my part. Probably should have dodged that before casting the Arcane Surge. I totally forgot that he does have that frontal. I probably should have accounted for that when I planned to do my burn phase about 40-50 seconds ago. One thing that you do have to worry about in these high-level mythics when you're doing, you know, when you're doing rotation is that there's a lot of planning going on, and if you make a mistake, you might not think it's a mistake at the time, but it could cause problems like a minute or two down the line. But either way, we defeated the boss. That deserves a slash cheer, and even a thanks and a congratulations. Got 19 IO. That's actually a pretty massive increase this late in the season. We're about 4 weeks in, so you'd only expect to get maybe like 5 to 10 IO points per completed dungeon. But you know what, we got a lot, and we beat the dungeon with almost 8 minutes left. Also, if you are a mage, it is common courtesy to give everyone a portal back to the main hub of the expansion. And that's gonna about do it for this run. So if you enjoyed what you saw here, please feel free to like the video and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to see maybe another dungeon in this season in the rotation, leave a comment down below and request what dungeon you'd like to see, and maybe I'll get to it in the future. And that's gonna about do it for me here. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you later.